Give me some of it. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Knight Stadium on the campus of Southern Virginia University. There is plenty of excitement here today in anticipation of this important USA South matchup between the Belhaven Blazers and your Southern Virginia University Knights. I'm Colby Kemp, and I'm welcoming to this afternoon in the broadcast booth Jackson McDonald. Jackson, it's a beautiful fall afternoon out here in Buena Vista, but all eyes are on the field waiting for these two teams to square off in what promises to be an exciting game. Belhaven comes in at 4-0 in the USA South, while SVU finds themselves at 3-1.
Yeah, it's a great fall afternoon. We're excited to play some football here. As the Knights are about to kick off, we have Belhaven will be taking offense first as they're receiving it. And we're looking at a couple things that some teammates and coaches have said, but for the Knights to win this game, they're going to have to take it one play at a time, step by step, not pushing, not rushing, but focusing on the first play and the next play.
D. Gray takes the kickoff, and he's got some room, and he will take it down to the SVU 18-yard line before he is tackled there by Scott Dupay. So right off the bat, Jackson, the Belhaven special teams comes up with a big play.
Yeah, you could just see right off the bat they found that momentum, they found that gap, and he went right through it, and he was able to find some green before he was taken down, saving the touchdown. So now they're about that 18-yard line and already in red zone just off that kickoff.
Looks like there is a flag on the field, though, so likely here as we await the call that this may be coming back. And there will be a hold called against the Blazers. So that will negate the long return by Gray.
Going back to a couple of the points that were made, Colby, along with play-by-play, one at a time, the Knights are trying to stay balanced with their aggression and the adrenaline that they're having today. Is, each game day they're going to have that aggression, and they want to, be very violent, but they also got to stay smart with the plays. And this goes for both players and coaches, and they want to make sure that they're making those right decisions and those smarter decisions.
No, absolutely. That has been one of the keys all year long for Coach Joe Dupay, wanting his team to win the mental game, which means eliminate those mental mistakes.
And it looks like as the players and refs move up, the ball will go all the way up to that 18-yard line.
Wait to see if we get some sort of an explanation there.
And as we get started, Belhaven starting off the offense. Their quarterback, number 1, Brock Morris. He was the USA South Offensive Player of the Week. So he's got some special talent, so we will see what happens.
So it looks like the penalty that was shown to be against Belhaven was actually thrown against Southern Virginia. So just like that, Belhaven is going to start inside the SVU 10-yard line here on this first possession. Morris in the shotgun. Gives the ball off. That is number 27, Zaylen McMillian, and he is dropped for a loss by that SVU defense. And Jackson, the SVU defense, they have come up big again and again this season.
Yeah, you can see every single game they've played, they've had some great stops, and that's just another one of the stops they've made, especially down there in the trenches with their big men. Getting dirty, being violent is the word they use so often.
So a loss of 2 on the play. Morris brings his team to the line, 2nd and 12 from the 12-yard line. Morris is going to run. He goes around the right side, and he will be knocked out of bounds at about the 1 yard line, but there is a flag on the play. Morris a little slow getting up, but he is now up and walking toward the huddle, and we will await the call from the referee. And that, once again, the signal there is holding on Belhaven. Don't anticipate that that's going to be reversed. So Jackson, talking a little bit about this SVU defense. They, have a lot of good stats. First off, we've seen this time and time again. They're number 2 in the country in defensive touchdowns scored. So even when the defense is on the field, there's a chance that they might put up some points.
Yeah, they're number 2 in the country, and they've had multiple interceptions going all the way. They've got some great defensive backs.
Morris looking to throw. He has a man, and that pass is complete for a touchdown for the Blazers. Reception on that goes to number 12, TJ Hatch. Gets the Blazers into the end zone on their first drive of the game.
And you could see TJ Hatch on that motion, going out wide and losing his man and just being wide open. Morris just drops right to him, makes it a pretty simple play for the Belhaven offense. And just like that, with about 3 plays in, Belhaven is up 6-0 as they go for this PAT.
Lindell Boatman is the kicker, on for the extra point. And it is good. So with 13:55 left in this first quarter, Belhaven will take a 7-0 lead. And we will await the kickoff where Southern Virginia will start their first possession of the game.
Yeah, and this really sets the bar, sets that momentum, Colby, is with Belhaven scoring off that first drive and so quickly, just a minute, 5 seconds into this game. It causes the offense, so we'll see the Knights, they're really going to have to take it up, and they're going to have to make a statement, they have to respond.
No, absolutely. They will need to come out and maintain possession, see what they can do. Of course, first of all, we'll see what type of play the special teams can come up with for Southern Virginia.
The returners for the kickoff, Crew Sage, number 40, number 35, Roger Adam. Will be your 2 back there for the Knights. And the kicker for Belhaven for this kickoff looks like number 93. 19, Kyle Norris will be kicking off for Belhaven.
Kick is away. It'll be Roger Adam. He'll let it go in and through the end zone, so the Knights will start their first possession from their own 25.
We see another flag thrown off that kickoff as we await the call and see what that flag was for.
So the Knights offense will come out. Marcus Price will get the nod again this week. Devin Watson continues to recover from a shoulder injury suffered against Methodist 2 weeks ago. But Marcus Price came in last week against NC Wesleyan, had his first start of his collegiate career, and ended up bringing home the Rookie of the Week Offensive Player honors for the Knights. So a good showing in his debut with the Knights. Still awaiting the call on the penalty on the kickoff. Looks like a holding call that's going to go against Southern Virginia. So rather than starting from their 25, that ball will come back and the Knights will take over at their 15-yard line.
As the Knights come out, we'll see what number 15 Marcus Price can do. Coming off that Rookie of the Week, Rookie Offense of the Week, we'll see what he can do with his Knights offense.
Roger Adam will be in the backfield to start. And some movement up front before the snap. It's going to be a false start against Southern Virginia. So that's going to back them up another 5 yards. So Knights maybe have a little bit of jitters here in the early going, Jackson.
Yeah, you can see they're just a little bit anxious, and you can see it on both sides of the ball already. But they definitely are going to have to calm it down, slow it down, and get momentum so they can really get going again.
Price looks downfield, and he throws, and that will be complete. That goes to number 11, Jalen Lackey, for a gain of, it looks to be about 7 yards, so 2nd and 8.
We've got a hurry up offense for the Knights. Trying to speed things up, get going quick.
And again, flags are thrown before the snap. Play is whistled dead, and that's a false start indicated against the Knights once again. So that'll back them up into a 2nd and 13.
And you can see again, Colby, just the jitters. They're just trying to jump it a little bit. And again, they just need to slow it down. If they can keep completed plays like the one they just did for that 7-yard gain a moment ago, build that momentum, and it'll be a much easier.
Just a matter of chipping away. Price looking to throw once again. He's chased from the pocket, looking for the edge, and he is going to be tackled and brought down at the SVU 14-yard line. So a gain of 2, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 11. This is a situation, Jackson, I'm sure the Knights would look to avoid. 3rd and long. Price once again flush from the pocket, and he is going to rush for what looks to be a 4-yard gain, but another flag in the backfield. And it looks like this will go against the Knights once again. So here in the early going, Jackson, this flurry of yellow continues for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, they've just have those little mistakes, and those are just going to kind of cost them. And Coach Dupé said that he wants to win those critical situations and those that mental game, and those flags that keep coming in from the Knights, that kind of follows along with both of them. And so as Coach Dupé has already informed with his team, if they're going to want to win today's game, they're going to have to make sure they take care of those critical situations and they focus mentally. And so that's definitely some changes they're going to have to make already. If they had probably what maybe been the 5th penalty, 5th flag on them.
So Coach Nightingale takes the distance. So Knights in 3rd and 19. Price from his own goal line, and he is going to be sacked. And it's going to be placed on about the 1-yard line. So now the Knights are going to have to punt it away. And punter Alex Passey's going to have less room than what he would like here on this upcoming punt.
Yeah, looking back on that play, Price just had no time. The pocket was immediately swarmed. He had to get out of there. and he was able to break a tackle and kind of get away from that safety area, but he just was not quite able to, make anything out of it. And so now, right on that goal line, Passy going to have to get this one out of here, and he's going to have to get it out quick.
Passy gets it away, and a fair catch is signaled and taken. And the Blazers are going to have excellent starting position once again as they will take over 1st and 10 from the SVU 35.
We're going to see this Knight defense once again now with a little bit better opportunity to kind of make some plays, as they were in kind of a pinch that first drive, but still right here is Belhaven's on that 35-yard line. The Knights are going to have to make some good plays. They're going to have to shut this one down because they're already in range.
Morris under center. And he's looking to throw. And that pass will go incomplete. Intended once again for TJ Hatch. So 2nd and 10. And like you mentioned, Jackson, starting from the 35, the defense has a little room. Still not ideal field possession for the defense to head out there, but much better than starting 1st and goal in your first possession.
Yeah, definitely gives them just a little bit of comfort. Knowing they're not right on that 10-yard line, but still, again, the goal is right in sight. So they're gonna have to take it seriously, win those plays.
2nd and 10. Morris with the give, and that goes up the middle with Zaylen McMillian again. It looks like he'll gain 6 yards on the play, bring up 3rd and 4. So here's an opportunity for the Knight defense to make a stand. I would guess the Blazers feel that they're in 2-down territory or 4-down territory here on this 3rd and 4.
Yeah, if the Knights are going to stop this one on 3rd, 4th down, it's going to be the trenches.
Another give to McMillian, and he is stacked up by the Knight defense.
A great
Trayden
stop.
Henderson and also Joseph Woods Jr. there on the stop.
A good stop on that defense. That D-line getting in, being fast, getting to that ball.
So the Knight defense, they have been very good. They're number 13 in the country on 3rd down conversions at just under 28%. And as we suspected, Jackson, the Blazers leave their offense on the field here as they're faced with a 4th and 3. So an opportunity for the Knights to get the ball back. And Morris is going to keep it, and he's got a lane, and Morris is going to take it into the end zone. That is going to be a 27-yard touchdown run by quarterback Brock Morris. And that's going to put Belhaven up by a count of 13-0 with the extra point pending.
You can see there's a great execution of that play. You can see Morris turned, looked. It was not there, and that was probably the play call. It was probably intentional. And he just tucked, turned, found his gap, and it was, his O-line gave him a really nice gap, and he burst right through, and he's able to use his speed, take it all the way for those 27 yards.
Kick is up, and no good. Looked like the Knights may have gotten a hand on that. So score remained 13-0. And yeah, Jackson, like you were talking about, that left side of that offensive line, they really opened up a hole there for Morris to hit. And he went pretty much untouched into the end zone. You got left tackle Cam Williams, left guard Eli Bales, and center Jordan Irves. Really doing a good job on that 4th and 3 to give their quarterback a lane to run and not only pick up the first down, but end up in the end zone. So we have 10 minutes, 18 seconds left in this first quarter. And once again, it'll be Kyle Norris to kick it away for Belhaven. Crusage and Roger Adam back to receive for the Knights. Looks like this ball will also go through the end zone. No flags on the play, so the Knights offense will take over from their 25-yard line, Jackson, and they'll look to put some points on the board and cut into this 13-point Belhaven lead.
Yeah, with the Knights now on this 25-yard line, they have their space again. So just like the defense, they have a little bit more, a better opportunity. And so hopefully the Knights, they can execute their offense. They're able to get something in. And with that blocked or missed field goal earlier, it leaves them a little bit of room. If the Knights can get a score, and they have to get another, obviously, but this will gives them a good opportunity.
At the least, you'd love to see the Knights make a little bit of a drive here, give the defense an opportunity to make some adjustments, maybe rest a little bit, because they've had 2 drives where they've been put in kind of a difficult situation. Price with a quick swing pass out to the flat to Jalen Lackey, a little short, so it'll go incomplete, bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you could see Price had that ball and went to throw it, make it quick. It just didn't look like he was quite out of hand on it. Tried to make it a little too quick, and you can see some of that his second start of his careers today, and you can see just a little bit of jitters from him too, but he's able to calm it down.
Hand off to Roger Adam, and Adam takes it up to the 30-yard line, so a gain of 5, and that will bring up 3rd and 5. So early on, an important 3rd down opportunity here for the Knights to try and keep this drive going. Once again, given to Adam, and he will push forward. Looks like a gain of 2 yards. So that's going to bring up 4th and 3.
And the Knights offense stays on.
9 minutes, 30 seconds left in this first quarter. And Coach Dupay will send the punting unit out. So Knights will come out and punt it away. Once again, an opportunity for the special teams to come up with a big play here. Passy gets it away, angled toward the sideline. Looks like that may have come a little bit off the side of his foot. So once again, Belhaven is going to have excellent field possession to start. They will start right at midfield on this possession.
We're going to have to see a couple of adjustments from this Knights defense if they're really going to make this stop and execute properly this time. And the Belhaven offense is 2 for 2 right now. Each drive they've ended with at least 6 points. So the Knights are really going to have to step it up.
Morris. We give to 0. Caleb Galashaw. Galashaw stopped after a short gain. Looks like 1 yard. So Knight defense with a good play there. Brings up 2nd and 9 for the Blazers. We're seeing both teams, Jackson. Their offense really operating. A little bit of hurry up, really no huddle action going here.
Yeah, they're making things quick, and that leaves a lot of time left on the clock for the opposing teams. We're probably going to see a lot of exchanging.
Morris, pass, caught, about a yard short of the first down. That is caught by R.J. Garrison.
This will be 3rd and 1 now. Once again, in that area for that 4th down play as well still.
So Knight defense here looking for an opportunity to make 2 big plays here, maybe get that ball back. Play clock is winding down, 3 seconds. And Coach Nightingale will get the timeout called to preserve that 3rd and 1 for Belhaven. Now while we have this timeout on the field, Jackson will go ahead and just let everybody know here, flag bearers today for today's game. That's an honor for these 4 players that are chosen to bring the team out onto the field before the game. Today it was Blake Beardall, Isaiah Maxey, Tommy Cruz, and Andy Hatch. Great opportunity for them to bring the team out onto the field here for this big game. So it looks like we are ready for play once again. 3rd and 1, Belhaven from the SVU 41. And the give to McMillian, and he is stacked up and brought down.
And it looks like the ball popped out. And the Knights say they have it as they jump on it.
Cade Hansen was there to meet McMillian. We're awaiting, and a fumble has been recovered. Jamar Robinson with the recovery. So there we have it, Jackson, the first big play of the game for the Knights. And no surprise comes at the hands of the defense.
Not a huge momentum changer. You know, as the Belhaven offense was right there, right at that first down, and that ball pops out, Knights are on it. And so now they're in the best field position they've had all game offensively. And they catch that little spark, that little momentum. That may be the thing that they exactly needed to get going on today's game.
So the Knight offense will take over from their own 41-yard line. And a flag once again just before the snap comes out. It's going to be motion on the Knights. And that's going to back them up 5 yards. You know, Jackson, I believe that's the 3rd false start penalty on the Knights. You have to wonder there, even though Marcus Price got the start last week down in Rocky Mount, you have to wonder if maybe that O-line, the players aren't accustomed to his voice here in this stadium here. And there's the give to Price actually keeps it.
Fake to us.
Fooled a lot of us. You know, fake to Sage, but in the end, Price keeps it, and he is able to gain, looks like 7 yards on the play, so that'll bring up. Looks like they're calling it 6. Second down. There's a screen pass out to Sage, and he'll be brought down after a small gain. So it's going to be 3rd and 8 coming up for Southern Virginia.
It's a big 3rd down for the Knights, 3rd and long. They want to keep going on this drive, and especially after that fumble, they got to get this first down.
Lackey goes into motion. Price under pressure again, gets the ball away to Roger Adam, and he will fight his way up and over the 46-yard line. So the Knights are going to have a 4th and 5 coming up.
And we'll see what Dupay sends out. So far his offense is still on. And there goes his punt team. So the Knights will send this one away. And there's some couple good things. While the Knights didn't get much out of that drive, you could still see that they are starting to figure it out. And they had, you know, some time in a couple plays to kind of get their offense going.
Passy gets it up and away. And he drives Ice Hodgen back, but Hodgen gets a block. And now Alex Passy, the punter, is able to bring Hodgen down just shy of midfield. We got 2 flags on the field once again, though. And the Knights are saying that's going to go against the Blazers.
And with 2 flags, this could mean it could be the exact same call, or it could be 2 different calls. They're about the same yard line, but it's on opposite sides of the field.
A good punt by Passy. He drove Hodgen back to about the 15-yard line where he made that catch and started his return. So he made about a 33, 34-yard return. Still awaiting the officials to make a call. So both penalties, both flags thrown, go against the Blazers. One for a blindside block and one for a hold. So this will back the Blazers up.
And with that great return by the Belhaven special teams, that'll be brought back with both those calls and put them right about where that punt was fielded.
So Belhaven will begin with their worst field possession so far in this first quarter. They'll begin at the 12-yard line, their own 12-yard line.
We talk about defensive opportunities, a great one for the Knights as they've got them within their own 20, right on that 12-yard line.
Morris will go under center. And with the give, and he is stacked up by a trio of Knight defenders and brought down. Traden Henderson, Jamar Robinson, and Britton Tidwell. So that will be a 1-yard loss for Belhaven. Bring up 2nd and 11 from their own 11-yard line. Morris looking downfield, and he's being pressured by Henderson. Ball is tipped.
And almost picked off.
That was Alex Passy that almost was able to pick that ball up off the turf. Passy, like we mentioned, rookie defensive player of the week last week, had 2 interceptions. So the Knight defense, an opportunity here to get themselves off the field.
3rd and long, plenty of room.
And maybe an opportunity to flip field possession a little bit here. Morris throwing downfield. He got a man, but it is a little overthrown. So that'll be incomplete. Looking for tight end Tyler Kraft. And so the Knight defense comes up with a 3 and out.
Great defensive stand by the Knights, keeping them right at that line of scrimmage on that drive and forcing this punt.
So Knights here have an opportunity for some great field position.
Those are some 2 back-to-back great defensive drives for the Knights with a fumble and now a forced punt.
Kyle Norris back to punt from his own goal line. And the play is whistled dead. Looks like possibly a timeout was called. Nope, delay of game being called.
That'll push the Blazers back another 5 yards now. So now they're within their 10. Kyle Norris still has as much room as he needs, but puts them farther back. Gives some more opportunity, more room.
Jalen Lackey back to return. Stands right at midfield. Norris gets it away. Ball's going to hit at the 39-yard line and go out. And the Knights will take over at the 42-yard line of Belhaven, their best field position of the game to start. About 4 minutes, 34 seconds left in this first quarter. The Knights with their best opportunity on offense.
The Knights can get a couple good plays in. They can put themselves at least in field goal range with about 4 minutes left. Great opportunity for Price. See if he can get his offense really going.
Price looking down the field, and he'll throw. And he had pass was intended there for number 87 of the Knights. That's Jax Vanchieri. Well defended by the Belhaven defense. So 2nd and 10. The give to Roger Adam, and Belhaven is able to string him out, and he will go out of bounds after a short gain. Bring up 3rd and 10 for Southern Virginia.
Third and long, Knights are gonna have to get within that first down.
Pass to Jairique Washington, and he is met immediately at the 35-yard line, so a gain of about 6. That's going to bring up 4th and 4. Timeout on the field as we have an injured player for Southern Virginia. So we'll go ahead and take this timeout as they attend to the player. The injured player for the Knights is Trent Fuimauno, but he is walking off the field under his own power, so that is always good news.
4th and 4, looks like, for the Knights. Big play for them.
Marcus Price. Roger Adam in motion. Short pass over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Scott Dupay. So the Blazer defense holds. And their offense will take over from their own 35-yard line. So the Knight defense, they got the stop. They got the Knight offense, some good field possession. And so far, this Knight offense just unable to capitalize and find their rhythm here in this first quarter, Jackson.
Yeah, they just really haven't been able to catch that little spark that they just so desperately need. And the defense.
Ball up the middle. And there's a run by the running back, That is Caleb Galashaw with a gain of 15. Takes the ball out to midfield. 1st and 10, Belhaven.
And a big time run right up the middle, finding that big gap for him and just breaking through, getting those big 15 yards.
Galashaw once again breaks a tackle and brought down after a gain of 7. Alex Passy comes up from his safety position to make the stop. We're now coming to 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. 2nd and 3. Morris goes under center. Another give to Galashaw, and he goes forward for about a 6-yard gain down to the Knight 37-yard line. So right now we're seeing on this drive, Jackson, that Blazer offensive line really taking over the trenches as Galashaw's been able to run the ball up the middle.
Yeah, you can see them taking over that run game, making a statement.
First and 10 for the Blazers. This time it gives to McMillian, and he gains 2 yards on the play. Jamar Robinson and Traden Henderson making the stop. Check that, that's Connor Owens. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball on the SVU 35-yard line for the Blazers. Another give to McMillian. Flag is down. McMillian is stopped. That was Kavika Bringhurst. Call will be holding on the Blazers, so that's going to back them up 10 yards. So that will bring up 2nd and 17. Call it 18.
Now with the Knights, they're kind of were on their heels with that run game. They've kind of caught themselves back now with 18 yards for the Belhaven offense to make up now.
Low snap. Morris is able to pick it up. Throws downfield. Well defended there. Blake Beardall on the defense, along with Alex Passy. Flag once again on the play. And it looks like this is going to go against Belhaven once again.
Looks like they'll be hands to the face offense.
So that'll push them back 15 yards.
The Blazers were in a great opportunity with that run game really working for them. And now with those 2 big penalties and a couple stops by that defensive line from the Knights, they're in 2nd down and a mile.
So 2nd and 33 for the Blazers, back in their own territory. They're at their own 40. And the give to McMillian, and he is dropped and stopped. Traden Henderson reads that play well and drops McMillian for another 4-yard loss. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 37.
You could can see, like I was saying earlier, this drive is the Knights' defense has really just, they kind of caught their spark, and they're playing so well right now. As you can see, 3rd and 37.
Morris back to pass. He looks, and that'll be short of the intended receiver, TJ Hatch. So Belhaven will have to punt the ball away. And again, another opportunity for the Knight offense to take over with decent field position. 29 seconds left in this first quarter.
And a big statement there on that drive by the Knights defense. You know, a couple of those were from the flags, from the penalties, but still they made some huge big-time stops, and that really just catches their spark, and it just continues, and they just keep going from there. And here's another flag.
Looks like the Knights may have jumped off sides. Fortunately, with 4th and 37, the 5 yards isn't going to hurt too much. Offsides is the call.
And so those 5 yards will go for the Blazers. A little bit better punting position, try and pin the Knights back just a little bit more. Jalen Lackey back to return this one.
Norris to kick it away for the Blazers. And Lackey fields that at his 10-yard line, makes a couple guys move, and he'll bring that up to the 20-yard line. So a good kick by Norris.
And a great return by Lackey. As he makes a couple miss, gets a couple yards. Now the Knights have the ball here on the 20-yard line. You can see that defensive momentum, and hopefully they'll catch on to that offense. The offense just so desperately needs to find that momentum. They just find their little catch.
Got to give Kyle Norris some credit there, though. That was a good punt. It went about 48 yards. The Knights give it to, I believe that's Roger Adam. No, actually, Antoine Mills, his first carry of the game. And he picks up, it looks like, a yard on the play, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter, where Belhaven has jumped out to a 13-0 lead, scoring both touchdowns on their first 2 drives. Since then, both defenses have done a pretty good job of keeping the offensive from getting on the move.
Yeah, it's been a very defensive game, just with these last multiple drives. You know, the first 2 were very offense heavy, but these last couple have been very defensive, and so because of that, it's going to continue, and both teams are going to have to stay very defensive. But likewise, it's going to, especially the Knights, you know, they're going to have to stay offensive focused a little bit, and they're going to have to get those points back if they're going to win this.
So we'll go ahead and take a brief break and be back in just a moment for the second quarter. Back here as the Knight offense gets ready to start. Ball on the 22-yard line. 2nd and 10. And there is a pass. Looks like Price was hit on the release. Fortunately for the Knights, ball was grabbed out of the air by Javen Ball. Otherwise, that could have been disastrous for the Knights as that ball was high in the air. An opportunity maybe for the Blazers to make a defensive play there. So a loss of 4 on the play. 3rd and 14 for the Knights. Pressure. Screen pass to Javen Ball. And he'll take that up to the 20-yard line and bring up 4th down. Be 4th and 10 for the Knights. And they'll have to kick it away.
You can see Price was a little slow to get up, but he got up on himself and he got off the field. But with that great defensive stand by the Blazers, it puts them, the Knights, down 4th down, and they'll send this one away.
Alex Passy.
This is Hogden.
Gets the kick
Hogden back
away. Ball hits right on the sideline and takes an SVU bounce out toward the middle of the field and goes down to the 35-yard line, and that's where Belhaven will take over 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
And you can see this defense has added their momentum these last multiple drives, but they're going to have to keep that going, and they're going to have to stay strong with that momentum that they've had these last couple of drives. And to stay in this ball game, you know, they're going to have to keep playing defensive.
Yeah, the Knight defense here, they've been great all season long. They lead the conference in defense, but they're really going to be relied upon right here to keep their team in the game here as the Knight offense continues to struggle a little bit here in the first half. Morris back to throw, and that'll go incomplete, and another flag on the play.
And that holding call will bring the Blazers back.
You know, so far in the game, that's our 13th penalty called so far. So far from a clean game being played out here today.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of penalties, and it's going both ways. It's really affecting how each team is playing, and not a whole lot of adjustments either way, but it's definitely affected each drive individually.
Definitely on both sides. Both teams, 6 penalties for 63 yards on Belhaven and 7 for 47 yards on SVU. So 1st and 20 for Belhaven. The give to Galashaw, and he is stood up and taken down almost immediately by Cade Hansen. Great play by Cade Hansen. Looks like another loss of about a yard for Belhaven. That will bring up 2nd and 21.
Once again, the Knights playing just some great defense. Holding them too, you can see that 4 or 5 and eventually about 6 players pushing back.
Morris back to throw. He's looking long. And a great catch there by TJ Hatch. He wins the jump ball, and TJ Hatch will go into the end zone for a touchdown for Belhaven. And there is a flag on the play in the offensive backfield.
And it was a great play, a great pass by Morris, and a fantastic catch.
So it is a holding call on Belhaven. That's going to bring that back. Like you said, Jackson, it was a great play by TJ Hatch. He went up there, it was well defended, and TJ Hatch went up and over the Knight defender to bring that ball down and turn and go to the end zone. Unfortunately for the Blazers, though, that's their 7th penalty on the day, and that takes a touchdown off the board.
Yeah, and you can see, as we were saying just a couple of minutes ago, Colby, these penalties have had such a huge factor in this game. And right there you can see a massive touchdown, about 65 yards. Is that what it would have been? But with that penalty call, it brings it all back.
And penalties have really been a factor on the last two drives for Belhaven, as once again they're faced with a distance of over 30 yards for a first down, 2nd and 31. Morris looking for his receiver. Ty Smith steps in front and almost makes the interception.
Had both his hands right there, right on it. He read it perfectly. Just wasn't able to secure that. But regardless, that's another incompletion, a bat down, and that leaves the Belhaven offense in 3rd and 37, 31 maybe.
Pass was intended for Cannon Caruth of Belhaven. And to be honest, Jackson, I think Caruth did just enough defensively to prevent that interception by Ty Smith. Morris with a short pass over the middle, tipped and once again almost intercepted by the Knights. It'll fall incomplete. Brings up 4th and 31 for the Blazers.
And the Blazers punt team comes out as they go to send this one away.
They'll be looking for Kyle Norris to have another good punt to prevent the Knights from having good field position.
Jalen Lackey for the Knights will return this one from Norris.
Norris gets it away. It'll hit at the Belhaven 42-yard line and bounce before it's touched by Belhaven right at midfield. So once again, the Knights have some good field position to start with. Now just waiting for their offense to find a little bit of rhythm and gain some yards.
Yeah, and we've said it each drive, the offense just needs to find that rhythm and that momentum, and they've had a few opportunities to do so. And they've found a few beats, but they just haven't been able to continuously stay through. And so this will be a good opportunity for them right on midfield.
Yeah, for the Knights, they are yet to pick up a first down in this game. Price, short pass over the middle to Adam. Adam will be brought down after a gain of 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Knights. Price, another short pass. Jalen Lackey with a little bit of room, and there is the Knights' initial first down of the game. Comes with 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half.
And while it took quite a while for the Knights to get it, they got that first down, and that may just be the momentum they needed. This hurry-up offense goes again.
Another short pass, complete.
Lackey once again, another quick pass.
Knights pick up 7 yards on that play. So Knights starting to find a little bit of rhythm on offense here on this drive. Price again looking for Lackey.
The refs call it a catch, but there is a flag down.
Flag is on the field, but the teams are moving forward. Here comes the call. So roughing the passer called on Belhaven, and that's going to take the Knights to a 1st and goal.
Knights now with a great opportunity.
And that's going to be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, just inside the 5-yard line. Marcus Price lines his offense up for their first play in the red zone of the day. Price rolling right, throws to the end zone, and a flag will be thrown. Pass intended for Isaiah Maxey, and it looks like they're going to get the defender there in the Belhaven secondary for a pass interference. So that'll move the ball halfway to the goal line.
With that penalty, that'll move the Knights. On that 2-yard line. So once again, just that much closer, getting their first points on the board for today's game.
Roger Adam in the backfield with Price. He gets the give, looking for some room, and he will be taken down by the Blazers. Looks like Wyatt Beck makes the stop for the Blazers. Bring up 2nd and goal, ball on the 3-yard line, so a loss of 1 on the play. Mishandles the snap, but Price recovers, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Southern Virginia.
A great run by Price. Bobbled that snap a little bit, but he was able to maintain it and hold it. And he made one miss and just put himself out and in.
Yeah, with the bobble, I'm not sure the play was designed that way, but he had a blocker there. Roger Adam continued that direction with him. So Price takes it into the end zone from 3 yards out. And now Scott Dupay to kick the extra point. And it is blocked. Belhaven picks it up. Looks like actually it was Alex Passy that was on for that kick.
And with that blocked field goal, the Knights will stay at 6. So now it's 6-13 though. You can see the Knights have able to get that touchdown, and that's just what they needed on that offensive side. If the defense can maintain what they've been doing the rest of this, pretty much this entire game, we'll see some change.
Absolutely needed to find some rhythm on the offensive side of the ball. It was just tough to depend upon your defense that much, throughout the course of a game. So good to see the Knights find some rhythm on offense, put some points up on the board here. And now the Knights will kick it away. Scott Dupay will be kicking this one away.
It looks like for the Blazers, TJ Hatch, number 12, will be back there, as well as RJ Garrison. Those two will be back there for a return. And that will be to Hatch as he fields it.
And Hatch, he'll bring it up to the 43-yard line. Again, Belhaven, they've really executed well on their returns, really set up blocking and allowed themselves to start in good field position once again. So Brock Morris, he'll lead his offense back out onto the field. Once again, Brock Morris, he was the offensive player of the week last week in the USA South. He'll give to Galashaw, and he will be hit and taken down. Jamar Robinson ends up taking him down. He was first hit behind the line of scrimmage by Nick Euler.
Yeah, and you can see Galashaw, just such a big running back. While he's short, he's powerful and fast, but he's just so strong. And he's able to break that first tackle, but since the second one was right there, he's unable to break that. That's what he's been kind of doing all game, is he finds those gaps and then he just breaks the rest.
2nd and 12 coming up for Belhaven. Morris back to pass, throw across the middle intended for Hatch. A little behind, so that'll go incomplete and bring up 3rd and 12 for Belhaven.
And a great defensive stance so far for the Knights once again, forcing this 3rd and 12. You could just see the Knights have been so consistent defensively.
Ball on the Belhaven 41-yard line. Morris again back to pass. He'll go downfield. 2 Knights there on defense. And Ty Smith is going to come up with the interception for Southern Virginia.
A fantastic interception. Great catch by Ty Smith. He tracks that one down from that far side of the safety. Finds it, doesn't even look at the player, doesn't even look at that wide out.
Once again, TJ Hatch was going deep. You know, and he's been well defended. Once again, there were 2 Knights back there, and like you said, Ty Smith comes over from that safety position, makes a play on the ball, and brings it down for the interception.
And that's the 2nd turnover by that Belhaven offense. Once again, just another momentum catcher, just another little bit of swing from the Knights, for the Knights.
Price on 1st down. Throw the ball to the sideline, intended for Jairique Washington. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Ball's on the Knights' 12-yard line.
Knights in their own territory here, a little bit dangerous position.
Knights would love to see their offense stay on the field here for a little bit, run some plays and eat up some yardage. 6 minutes, 58 seconds remaining until halftime.
I'm going to correct you in 8 minutes. 8 minutes 58. There's still plenty of time.
The benefit of young eyes, Jackson. Pass complete to Jairique Washington, and he is caught immediately and brought down for a loss.
That was a great open field tackle.
Great play there by number 10, Luke Handy.
He was tracking that one down. He read it. Wasn't able to get there before the pass, but as soon as that one was caught, he was able to catch that feet. Washington almost got away with it, dodging that tackle, but just a great tackle, great open field tackle, and those are just so difficult on open field one-on-one, but he's able to execute right there.
So that brings up 3rd and 16 for the Knights. They're on their own 6-yard line. Another screen pass, Crew Sage. And Sage will take that ball up to the 13-yard line. So that will still be short of a 1st down, but picks up some well-needed yardage for the Knight offense.
Yeah, it was a good play with getting them just a couple yards, which they kind of need just to get out of that dangerous area in the punt zone, as this punt team does come out for the Knights on that 4th and 10, 4th and 9. So not a very effective with points on that offensive drive from the Knights, but they're able to stay away from that safety. And
so Passy gets the kick away. Ice Hodgen will field it. Looks like right at midfield. So Belhaven will take over on offense at midfield. You know, in the last 3 possessions for Belhaven, they really haven't been able to do much. If anything, they've moved backwards. And so I'm sure Coach Nightingale wants to see his offense be a little more productive, stand up to this Knight defense. And of course, Coach Ehorn, the defensive coordinator for the Knights, he's expecting his Knight defense to still hold to the challenge. There's a give up the middle. And that will go for a gain of 16 yards.
A very powerful run, as he's able to kind of just fall through on that one and just keep getting those extra yards.
That's Julian Tabor. Morris, short pass across the middle to Hatch. And Hatch, he makes a move.
There is a flag down in that backfield, though.
So Hatch makes the reception, and he takes it down to the 5-yard line before Scott Dupay catches him and brings him down. Actually, Lucas Martin. Martin wears number 7 on defense for the Knights. But as you said, Jackson, penalty flag thrown on Belhaven for a chop block. And that is our 17th penalty of the first half. 10 on Belhaven.
And once again, that big-time play from the Belhaven offense. Just that small penalty, but it cost them so much. And they were on the 5, and now they're on the 50.
So a 15-yard penalty, 1st and 25. Once again, the give to Tabor. He's brought down after a gain of 3. Six minutes, 20 seconds left in this first half. Morris looking to throw. Throws downfield. Ty Smith makes a play on the ball and caught. Referees are going to rule that a catch along the sidelines.
That's number 8, Tyler Kraft, that tight end for the Blazers. And it was a great catch. He was able to secure that one with his hands, but he had to get his feet there too. And the ref says he does, and so that'll be a big first down.
That moves the ball down to the SVU 26-yard line. Screen pass will go incomplete. Intended again for Hatch. Second and 10 for the Blazers. Morris rolls to his left, looks downfield. The receiver and defender get tangled up, and a flag comes in. So it looks like that is going to be a penalty against SVU. Whether they call it defensive holding or interference, either way, it will result in a first down for Belhaven. So they go with pass interference. And that will move the ball down. 1st and 10 from the SVU 11 for Belhaven.
And a good opportunity here for the Blazers to get another score.
The give to Tabor, he goes around the right end. And the Knights bring him down, but not before he gains about 7 yards down to the 4-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 3 for Belhaven inside the Knight 5-yard line. Pitch to Tabor, and he's hit behind the line. Able to break tackles, however. And we'll await the spot.
And he turned in what looked like there was going to be a loss. And took multiple yards. Put him right at that second yard line.
So they will mark him just shy of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and about half a yard. To give to Tabor, and he'll go into the end zone. Touchdown, Blazers. And that extends their lead out to 19-6. With the extra point forthcoming by number 9, Lindale Boatman. And Boatman's kick is up and good to extend the lead out to 14 by a count of 20-6. Belhaven leads with 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this first half. So Jackson, after 3 drives where the Blazer offense really struggled, you know, they come out here, they had, you know, a big penalty that pushed them back after they'd made a gain, but they were able to overcome that and at the end of the day push the ball into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, they were able to come back from that deep penalty after the chop block, but because of that run game, that they, you know, made a statement again, and they had a nice run and then another nice run, and it just adds up so quickly. And with that run game being so dominant, they're able to put that ball right in the end zone and put them up. So now it's a little bit different story for this Knights offense.
And that kick will go into the end zone. So the Knights, they will come out to start this drive on their own 25-yard line. And after that score by Belhaven, the Knight offense, they really need to come out and put up an answer here before they go into halftime.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Knights right now with 4 minutes left, you really got to get at least points on that board again. And while it's not impossible, we see plenty of things happen, especially in football. You know, you can still come back from this deficit in the second half, but it just makes it just that much easier if they're able to get at least 3 points on that board.
Quick pass to MJ Laws, complete for a first down. That'll take it out to the SVU 37-yard line. Price, another pass, and that goes out to DJ Perry. And DJ is out for another first down. So Jackson, the Knight offense, really 2 quick completions already out near midfield.
And you can see them really pushing that ball again here with another pass. And another nice catch. DJ Perry once again.
That'll be a gain of 6, it looks like. So Marcus Price starting to find that rhythm that he had last week. 3 quick completions here to start this drive. This time the give to Adam, and Adam will fight forward for a gain of 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 2 from the Belhaven 45.
This 3rd down, here's a big one though. I mean, it's only 2 yards, but still is a big one if they can get this and continue on that offensive drive. And they do get it with a nice pass.
Crusade with the completion, and he takes it down. The completion of about 5 yards, but Crew adds on 10, 12 yards to the end of that catch. Takes the Knights down to the 31-yard line of Belhaven, 1st and 10.
It was a great run after catch, breaking a couple tackles.
Another quick pass across the middle, complete to Jairique Washington.
And with that 2-minute warning, that will be a 2-minute timeout for
so the Knights, really on the move here, taking the ball across midfield. They'll have a 2nd and 3 coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Like you said, Jackson, that was a huge 3rd and 2 there because the Knights did not want to be in a situation to give the ball back to Belhaven before the half.
Yeah, and they were just outside of that field goal range, and with that big time run by Sage, they were able to have another pass. Now they're right here on that 20-yard line. It gives them a great opportunity. If not a touchdown, a field goal, they still have a good opportunity. And like we were saying, get those points on the board.
The Knights in this offense stay on the field here, just outside the red zone. Crusade with the carry, and he is going to be dropped for a loss. Looks like a loss of 3 on the play. Arnez Moore with the initial hit. Third and 7.
Once again, another big time 3rd down.
Price with the quick throw, caught by Jairique Washington. Defender falls down, and Jairique, he takes it. Touchdown, Knights.
And a great run and catch by Jairique. He's able to get that 1st down initially on the catch, but he kept going through it, using that speed just so quick. And he was able to just dive in after that tackle, and it will be a touchdown. And the Knights getting exactly what they want. It's a couple points on that board just before halftime. Still 1:17 left on that clock as we await the field goal.
Extra point to be taken here by Alex Passy. And this one is no good. It's going to be a little wide left. So the Knights, once again, leave some points out there on the field. Nonetheless, with that touchdown, they close the gap to 20-12. Like you said, Jackson, 1:17 left in this half. So Belhaven, they're going to get the ball back. We've seen several times where they've set up some good returns. So the Knight special teams here, they really need to come on, make a good play, pin Belhaven back, and then turn it over to the Knight defense, see if they can come up with a stop here before the half. Back to receive for Belhaven are D. Gray and Ice Hodgen. Kick is away. Gray will take it from the 4, and he will return the kick back out over the 30-yard line, and that is where Belhaven will start this possession with 1 minute, 10 seconds left in the half.
And with that solid return by Belhaven on that 30-yard line now leaves, 33-yard line, leaves them some good opportunity to, make some plays and try and get something before this half with 1 minute and 10 left. But the Knights can play some good defense. They were able to shut this one down before halftime, stop the possession.
Morris, short pass, caught, and immediately brought down. Ty Smith with the tackle. McMillian with the catch. And timeout is called. Timeout called by Belhaven.
And with 1 minute left, Knights being down by 8. It's a very close game still, as we still have a whole nother half to go.
Well, this is a big drive here going into halftime. If the Knight defense can come up with a stop, the Knights are going to receive the kickoff to start the second half. So if they can keep this to a one-score game, they'll have the ball to start, have an opportunity to go down and maybe put some points on the board. But all comes down to this final minute here, where the Knight defense will be asked to make another stop. Morris back to pass under pressure, leaves the pocket. He's got some room to run, and he will take it out across midfield before he is ran out of bounds. Looks like he will go out at the SVU 40-yard line. So a 30-yard run by Morris.
And that was a big-time play by Morris. He's able to avoid the sack. There's a couple players after him, and he's able to get out and get out of bounds too, stopping that clock, which is also huge.
Morris looking downfield. He's got a man. It's tipped, and Alex Passy once again had a ball tipped his direction. Kind of tipped away from him, so he wasn't in the greatest position to be able to try and make that catch, but interesting how that ball continues to find Passy on defense.
Yeah, really just kind of finds his way regardless of where it's going.
2nd and 10. Morris rolls left. He's got a man, but he'll throw it out of bounds. Well defended by Ty Smith. Pass wasn't intended for John Davis, but I think Morris saw Smith on his way and just threw that out of bounds. So 3rd and 10. And the Knight defense with an opportunity here to stand up to this Belhaven offense and get them off the field.
Big 3rd down for both sides of the ball right now.
Morris, pass complete. RJ Garrison with the completion down to the SVU 24-yard line. And Belhaven clocks the ball as they are down to just one timeout. 34 seconds remain in this first half. Second and 10. And now the Knights are going to spend a timeout on defense. That is their first timeout of the half. So I'll call timeout, talk it over, and get ready for the 2nd and 10 from their 24-yard line. We'll go ahead and take a short break and be right back with the final seconds of the first half. Welcome back out of the timeout. Belhaven has 2nd and 10. Ball is on the SVU 24-yard line. 34 seconds remain in this first half. Morris back to pass, rolls to his right, looks to the end zone, and that'll be caught in the end zone. Number
24.
24 is Wyatt Locastro with the touchdown for Belhaven.
That was a great pass by Morris. Got to give him credit there because he was able to put that in just the right spot, just the right time, and make it a somewhat simple catch.
Yeah, initially it looked like he was throwing into some traffic there, but he put it in a spot, and Locastro knew where the ball was being thrown. Beardall, or Boatman rather, and is good on the extra point. So Belhaven, they will go out to a 27-12 lead here with 27 seconds remaining in this first half.
27 seconds, not a lot of time, but enough to kind of do something.
Enough to give an opportunity. They still have 2 timeouts. SVU does, so if they can get a decent return here, they may have an opportunity to put some points on the board before they go into the locker room.
It looks like Cruz Sage and Roger Adam will be back there for the Knights to return this one.
And once again, that kick will sail into the end zone for a touchback. So the Knight offense will start this drive on their 25-yard line. And it looks like the Knights are just going to take a knee, let the clock run down, and head to the locker room. So that will bring our first half to an end as both teams will head to the locker rooms. Belhaven leads 27-12. Jackson, what adjustments? And the Knights have been excellent at making adjustments at the half. What adjustments do you expect to see coming out of the locker room?
I definitely think they're going to continue what they've been doing on defense, and they're staying just aggressive kind of all over the place. But offensively, at least, is where they kind of need to step it up as they're just down. But definitely going to probably see some more passing as their quarterback is Price has been kind of getting into the flow of things a little bit. Their run game has been not doing fantastic today, and so if they can get that passing really down and get it going, then you'll definitely see some more passing from the Knights. And likewise for Belhaven, they'll probably keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they've been playing good offensively and defensively. And one thing, both sides really, that need to both clean up is just the penalties. There's been so many penalties each side. Playing smart will kind of help both teams out in their own favor. But we'll probably see as well from Belhaven is some more passing. That last touchdown was about a 20-yard throw for a nice touchdown. And so we'll see a lot of action, I'm sure, on the second half.
No, absolutely. Like I'm sure both coaches would like to see the penalties get cleaned up. It's been a long first half. 30 minutes, but it's been quite a long first half. So the other thing is and the only loss the Knights have this season down at Brevard. They were down at halftime, similar situation, but they were able to come back, battle back, and make it a game in the second half. So thank everybody for joining us for this first half. We're going to go ahead and take this break during halftime. We'll be back with the second half in just a bit.
100. Control of the song is performed by Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake during one of the movie's most heartfelt moments, reminding us that love and friendship shine brightest when we show our true self. Goals and released in 2016, this feel-good anthem top charts around the world. Won a Grammy Award and earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song. With its irresistible groove and unstoppable joy, it's the perfect finale to our celebration of all things soul.
We want to welcome everybody back here to Knight Stadium as we are getting ready to begin this second half, where Belhaven took a 27-12 lead into the locker room at halftime. Belhaven will kick off to begin this second half, so the Knight offense will be on the field to start and have the opportunity to see if they can cut into that 15-point lead. Here's the kick from Kyle Norris. That will hit and go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. And that will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line, and that is where Southern Virginia will begin the first possession of the second half. I'm Colby Kemp, joined here with Jackson McDonald. Jackson, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments have been made at halftime.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we went over like a couple of our guesses, right? But you know, we're not the coaches, and so the coaches have their own opinion, their own choices, and so it'll be really exciting to see what they actually do and how this game plays out.
Quick pass into the flat by Price. It is caught by Roger Adam, and he's immediately brought down for a loss of 1, make it 2 on the play. Jackson, one thing we talked about going into the locker room is the rushing game for the Knights. They had 9 yards rushing in that first half.
Yeah, definitely. It's not necessarily super vital. Their passing game has been pretty spot on the last couple drives at least. But it's definitely something they're going to have to really get going if they want to stay possessive of this game. Is that run game, and with only a couple yards in that first half, it's going to be there definitely is going to be adjustments that are going to have to be made in order to do so.
Definitely need to do what they can to keep that defense honest. 3rd and 12, Price, quick pass over the middle, incomplete. And that will bring up 4th and 12, pass intended for Gabriel Afulajuwanlo. Punting unit will come out onto the field. And it looks like Scott Dupay will be doing the punting. Typically we see Alex Passy as the punter. Scott's kick is off and fielded. Belhaven on a fumble, ball's on the ground. And it looks like Southern Virginia has recovered that fumble. And that is the long snapper, Joseph Kroger, number 36, getting down to recover that fumble. So the Knights, after a stalled drive to begin this second half, forced the fumble on the return.
And that almost turns into a big gain for the offense, right? Because they're able to get that recovery off that punt. And so now here they are, like 20 yards up.
Referees, they are getting together near midfield. There are no flags that I can see that were thrown during the play. And now they are signaling.
And I can see there's the ref on that Belhaven sideline with a flag in his hand.
So illegal use of hands. That penalty will be declined, of course, as the Knights recover that fumble. So they'll go ahead and take over. 1st and 10 at the Belhaven 44-yard line.
And now great opportunity for the Knights to start this second half, get some points on that board and start off with some momentum.
Marcus Price, he's got a man. That's Jyreek Washington on the reception, and that'll take the Knights down to the 9-yard line, so they will be 1st and goal
And an absolute beautiful ball by Marcus Price, just letting it go, laying it out there, making it really simple for Washington to just get right under that.
Give to Adam, and Roger will take that down to the 7-yard line, gain of 2 on the play.
And you can really start to feel, Colby, just the environment has kind of shifted a little bit in this Knights' favor. You can just really start to feel and hear that momentum with the fans and the players as well.
Now, as we discussed, just before halftime, the Knights were down at Brevard, and they battled back in the second half, only to fall in the end. Price on the keeper. He's fighting. He'll fall forward. Touchdown, Southern Virginia. A tough run there by the freshman quarterback, Marcus Price.
Yeah, just a strong, powerful run from Marcus.
Offensive line opened up a little bit of a gap on the right-hand side. Marcus took it, and he was not going to be denied.
Yeah, he saw that goal line. He saw he was only a couple yards away, and he just fought for that. And that's just what you see. You just see just a dog fighting, and that's exactly what Marcus did. Especially as a quarterback, he gets the team fired up. That field goal goes off the post and in. And so now it's 19-27. When you see people like the quarterback really just fight for it, it just gives you that little extra motivation. And especially such a young guy fighting for it so hard. You can see that, he may not have experience as a freshman, but he just has that fight mentality, and that is a great example of it on that run right there.
So it takes Southern Virginia a minute 26 seconds to come out in the second half and put up 7 points to cut that 15-point deficit to 8 quickly here in this third quarter. So again, going back to what we were talking just before the touchdown, Knights, they've been so good at making adjustments at halftime. 2 weeks ago when they were home against Methodist, they had a strong first half on defense, not as good as they would have left. They came out, gained over 300 yards on offense, and held Methodist to just 5 total yards in the second half. So Knights are well on their way here in the second half, having made some adjustments. That's taken by TJ Hatch, and he's got some room, and he'll take the return out across the 35-yard line out to the 38 of Belhaven. So Belhaven, they'll take over 1st and 10 from their 38-yard line with an 8-point lead.
One thing that's been very consistent with Belhaven's kick return team, at least, is every single time, regardless of where they're receiving it, they've gone at least 20 yards. And on a kick return, punt return, those are big time yards. And while that only paid off once on their drive to score, just those yards have been so deafening sometimes in these plays.
Short pass complete to McMillian. Ty Smith with the play, and he'll stop McMillian for, it looks to be a 1-yard loss. So once again, the Knight defense, they come right out on the field, and they're going to do whatever they can to maintain the momentum that the offense has regained here in the second half.
And it's going to be tough to play with this offense already, this Knight offense at least.
Hand off to McMillian, and he will take it for a gain of almost 7, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
And as I was saying, it's going to be difficult if this defense can keep doing what they've been doing all game, and then they can continue that just strong defensive stance each drive with the offense kind of catching that momentum that both sides of the ball can keep. That's going to be very, very difficult for Belhaven to maintain this lead that they have.
Morris in the shotgun with the give up the middle, and he is hit. That's McMillian again. Hit, and looks like he's brought down short of the first down. That's Traden Henderson, freshman out of Blackfoot, Idaho. And it's going to bring up 4th and 2. And Coach Nightingale will send out the punting unit. So it looks as the Knight defense holds Belhaven. 4th and 2 though near midfield. Always got to be on the lookout for a potential fake punt.
Especially in this territory, that's where most fakes will take place sometimes.
Norris gets it away. Jalen Lackey calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 9-yard line of Southern Virginia. So a good punt once again by Norris. Norris had a really good day punting for Belhaven. He's certainly done his job.
Yeah, especially on that one right there. I mean, you put him back within that 10-yard line. And as a punter, that's about as much as you can do safely, is put him within that 10-yard line and forcing that fair catch.
The Knight offense takes over. Price with the give to Roger Adam. Roger looking for the edge, and he is brought down for a loss. That's number 7, Wyatt Beck, the linebacker for Belhaven, chases Adam down and brings him down for a loss of 4 on the play.
He was really just in a hot pursuit on that one. I mean, he saw as soon as he had that ball, there was no stopping him. I mean, he was there all the way through.
Price with a pass to Lackey. Looked like he may have been hit as he was throwing. The ball was in the air for a long time, and the Knights really at the end there, Jackson, fortunate that that ball was not picked off.
Yeah, it looked like as I was going to get picked off, and he was right at that goal line. I mean, that would have been almost immediate pick 6.
So 3rd and 14. Knights deep in their own territory, looking to get some yards here. Price steps up, he's going to run. And Price fighting, and he will take it up to the 17-yard line.
Looks like he may have fumbled the ball. Belhaven thinks they have it. The refs are going to say he was down first.
So that'll bring up 4th and 2. And the Knights will punt it away. Again, a tough run by Marcus Price. Just to gain those, 12 yards back. It was 4th and 14. So he gains 12 yards on that run. Gives the Knights a little room to punt it away. Scott DePay looked like it may have been a fake, but in the end it wasn't there. DuPay punts it away, a good kick. A 45-yard kick, and that'll put Belhaven on their own 43-yard line. That's where they'll start this possession.
And that was a great punt, especially on that run. I mean, it looked like it was almost a little bit of a choice. If it was there, throw it, go for that fake. I mean, there's only like 2 yards that they needed to make up for that first down, but he saw that there was nowhere to go, so he booted it and was able to put
a little bit of a different RPO, if you will.
Yeah.
A run punt option. First and 10, Belhaven. Morris gives it to Galashaw, and he will be tackled after a gain of 3. Looks like Cade Hansen, Ty Smith, and Trayden Henderson with the stop. Second and 7 for Belhaven. Handoff given, and he will be strung out and brought down, and that's going to be a loss as well. Tackled. Tackled there by Tanner Evans, freshman linebacker out of Eagle Mountain, Utah. Tanner back from an injury, sustained early in the season. Good to see him back and a great play. Third and 7 for Belhaven. Morris back to pass. He's got a man that is complete to RJ Garrison. And it looks like the ball's on the ground.
The Knights say they have it. We'll see what the refs say.
And the signal gives the ball back to the Knights. So the referees are getting together to discuss, but if that holds true, that's going to be their 4th takeaway on the day.
And it's confirmed after that ref.
And the Knights came into this game 4th in the country in turnover margin.
And with their 4th turnover of the day, you can only imagine that it'll go up after that.
You would think. And of course, turnover margin, that depends on taking care of the ball as well, which they've been able to do for the most part today. Price back to throw, steps up, and he will be brought down for a sack. That's going to be a 6-yard loss. Looks like Arnez Moore got there first. Second and 16 for the Knights. Price going down. And the pass is caught. Jackson Vanchieri makes a great play. And that takes the Knights down into Belhaven territory. Ball will be spotted on the 28-yard line. 1st and 10.
Once again, just a fantastic ball by Marcus Price. He's really he's seen that confidence. You could see it in him as he's letting that one go.
Short completion to Roger Adam, and he is hit, and he'll be brought down, it looks like, at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Seven minutes, 10 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter. The give to Adam. He's looking for the edge, and Belhaven will step up, string him out, and bring him down again. That's going to be a 5-yard loss. Looks like timeout taken on the field.
It looks like Wyatt Beck is down right now, but he gets back up now for that Belhaven team. Love to see that. Glad he's getting up on his own and walking off on his own power.
We've been very fortunate for all the home games this year. Haven't seen really any injuries to where, the players weren't able to walk off under their own power. Glad to see Wyatt Beck for Belhaven able to make his way to their sideline. So Knights will come back with a 3rd and 15 from the Belhaven 33-yard line.
This is a big 3rd down here, Colby, with plenty of yards before that 1st down.
The pitch to Crusade, she's got some area. Vanchieri looking to make the block on the edge to spring Sage. And there was some room there, but a good play by the defender to come off of that block and make the play.
The ball is able to get back to that line of scrimmage on 4th down now.
Looks like that was Tyler Miller for the Blazers making that tackle.
Offense stays on here on 4th down, 4th and 10. Play clock winding down.
Price looking for Roger Adam. And SVU looks for a flag. It's not coming, so Belhaven will take over on downs. The defender there was able to play the sideline well. Adam ended up out of bounds and unable to make the play. So with 6 minutes and 42 seconds left in the third quarter, the Knight defense will take the field looking to make another stop, and Belhaven will look to go on a drive. Morris going to keep it, go around the right side, and he is brought down by Lucas Martin and Scott Pezzi after it looks like a 5, almost 6-yard gain. That'll bring up second and a long 4. Morris throws over the middle. That pass is complete. And that is Tyler Kraft making the reception for a first down. That'll take Belhaven out to their 46-yard line. Good job that time by the Belhaven offensive line, giving that time to Morris to find his receiver.
Makes his job just that much easier, not having any pressure, no extra thing to worry about.
The give to McMillian, he's stood up, and he'll fall forward for a gain of about 1. Cade Hansen right there, and Spike Adams making the stop. That'll bring up second and 9. Morris, short pass complete to Garrison, and Garrison will be brought down after a gain of about 3. Britton Tidwell there to make the stop. So 3rd and 2 faces Belhaven right now. Knight defense will look for a stop. If they do, it'll be interesting to see what decision Belhaven makes on 4th down. Morris with the give, and the Knights swarm the ball carrier and bring him down after no gain. And that was Julian Tabor on the carry. And so 4th and 2, and it looks like Coach Nightingale will send out the punting unit.
That was a great defensive stand right there by the Knights. In a tough situation on that 3rd down. And they're able to hold it off and force this, what is looking like a punt.
And it was huge because Tabor, he really had shredded the Knight defense that last possession of the first half. Made some good carries for a lot of yards. So the Knights were able to stand him up at the line of scrimmage. It was a good play by the defense. Looks like there's a timeout on the play. Referee talking to Coach Nightingale for Belhaven. And it looks like they're going to mark off a penalty I don't know that we were given a signal there.
The play clock, I was looking at it, was at 0. I'm not sure if that was the penalty, but that's our best guess.
With 5 yards, so either a delay or a motion penalty. Norris gets the kick away, and Lackey unable to get to the ball, and that ball is going to roll inside the SVU 5-yard line.
And once again, another really great punt by Kyle Norris.
You know, Kyle Norris, he's flipped the field a couple times, you know, on his punts, putting the Knights, you know, where it looked like they might get good field position, put them into some not as good field position. And the last 2 punts, we've seen him pin them inside their own 10-yard line, which, you know, makes it difficult for the Knight offense and really sets up the Belhaven defense to be able to put some pressure on Marcus Price and the running game of the Knights. And Adam, he'll come around. He hurdles the defender, and Adam takes it out to the 10-yard line. It looked like he didn't have much room to operate in, and all of a sudden he came out of the pile and was able to hurdle the defender and get 6 yards on the play out to the 10-yard line.
And a little bit of style on that one as he very cleanly gets over that defender.
I have a feeling that run right there will make it onto social media. Short pass, defended well, and incomplete, intended for Jalen Lackey. That will bring up 3rd and 4 for the Knight offense and Marcus Price.
And another huge 3rd down here for the Knights. 3rd and 4 in their own 15. Excuse me, on 10.
2 minutes, 38 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Jalen Lackey was in motion, makes the catch, and brought down. We'll check the spot. It looks like he's likely just short of the 1st down. So it's going to be 4th and a yard. And the Knights punting team will come out. You know, the last time the Knights were here in this position to punt, you know, we saw Scott Dupay roll to his right, looking to see if he had a seam to pick up the 1st down. He'll roll again, and he sends it down the field. Be fielded right at midfield by RJ Hatch, and he is hit immediately. And that is Zaner Naganquit making that hit on Hatch. And Belhaven will have a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of Southern Virginia. During the week, Jackson had a chance to visit with Coach DePay. He wanted me to give a little shout out to his advanced crew. A lot of these are players that are injured or whatever. Porter Shaw, Jacob Bustles, Garrett Burke, and Tucker Wilkins. Wanted to thank them for all the work they do behind the scenes. Said the team wouldn't be 6-1 without those 4 guys. Morris takes the snap. Short pass complete. And that'll be taken out of bounds. That's McMillian on the reception. And he is dragged out of bounds by Tony Napper Jr.
And going back to those players that Coach Dupay is mentioning that have done so much for the team even though they're not playing right now, it kind of puts into perspective how much work is being put in, you know, not just your quarterback or just your safety, but there's so much on the sidelines and up in the booth and everything that goes on just to make one team happen.
Absolutely. Morris looking downfield, he's got a man, but that ball is overthrown. TJ Hatch was the intended receiver.
And that was a very dangerous ball, as I was just a couple inches away being right in the hands and probably right in the end zone.
That was Tony Napper that was running with R.J. Hatch. So, we'll call this a crucial 3rd and 4 here for Belhaven. Knight defense, once again, would love to get off the field. Belhaven, of course, would love to keep this drive moving downfield. Morris under pressure, runs into his own man, gets the throw away to McMillian, and McMillian is able to dodge the Knight defenders and ends up with a gain that will take them down to the Southern Virginia 27-yard line, 1st and 10. So on 3rd and 4, Belhaven gets about 17 yards. And there's a give to McMillian, and he is taken down by Traden Henderson. Looks like that was little or no gain, perhaps even a loss, it looks like. And that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. So the Knights are able to put 7 points on the board in that 3rd quarter and cut the deficit to 8. Meanwhile, Belhaven, they're driving here to end that 3rd quarter. They would love nothing more than to put some points up on the board to start this 4th quarter, Jackson.
Yeah, and you can see the Knights were able to get that 7 points that they kind of needed, especially right off that bat of that second half. But Belhaven was able to be held to 0, and while they're in a good situation right now, at least, they're still being held. And so if the Knights can keep that defense, hold them at 0, and continue their offense to flow through, you're going to see some very close plays. You're going to come down in this 4th quarter, very crucial, critical plays.
So Belhaven will start this 4th quarter in a 2nd and 11 from the SVU 28-yard line. Brock Morris has 2 backs with him in the backfield. Rolls to his right, looks downfield, puts up a pass, and it is caught for a touchdown. R.J. Hatch once again goes up and makes the play on the ball. So Belhaven on the first play of the 4th quarter scores a touchdown on a 28-yard pass from Brock Morris to T.J. Hatch.
And you can see on that play just how dangerous Brock Morris really can be. I know it showed with that offensive player of the week last week, but you can see right there he's able to roll out, find his man, stay patient with it, and him at the exact right moment when there's enough space to be able to actually catch it and enough space away from his defender. Now, this is a great throw on the run, on 1 foot off Brock Morris. It's able to get them their 6, and after that PAT, that 7.
So the kick is good by Boatman.
Making that 34-19. It's now a double-digit lead here for Belhaven, and there's still plenty of time. 15 whole minutes, pretty much. Full quarter as the Knights are going to return this one. But they're going to have to really step it up offensively. And they're going to have to be quick with it. And they're going to have to make every single possession count. They got to take each one very seriously in this situation now.
On the day, Brock Morris is 13 of 25 for 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2 of those touchdowns have been to T.J. Hatch. It seems like we've said his name a lot today. He's only got 2 catches for 44 yards, but both of them were touchdowns. And the kick is brought back, the kick return. taken by Mo Smith Follow, and he was hit hard at the 15-yard line. Mo's a little slow getting up, but able to make his own way off of the field. So they will mark it at the 17 of Southern Virginia. Marcus Price, he is caught and brought down. And that is number 6, Arnez Moore, getting a sack, and Price is down, slow to get up. A great play by Moore there. He was able to get through the offensive line and chase down Price. Timeout on the field as they attend to Marcus. He is up. But as we know, Jackson, he'll have to come off the field for at least one play.
And looking at the roster, as Marcus is walking off the field on his own power, so it's good to see. We're looking at the rest of the roster, and you got Tommy Petey, a sophomore, as well as Quinn Massey. He's a freshman. So while we're not sure which one of those will come in for at least one play. And it looks like that'll be number 16. That'll be Devin Watson, the former starter. And he will be taking this snap, at least for the moment.
A loss of 7 on the play. So early in the week, Coach DuPay said Devin would be a game time decision. Ultimately, Marcus Price is the one that started and has been playing. And the Knights, a screen pass out in the flat, and then a double pass.
That was Tommy Petey, which I just spoke of earlier, so it's a little bit of a wildcat. And while Tom Petey is a quarterback on that roster, I do know him, and he is not just a quarterback, as he plays kind of multiple positions, more of an athlete position.
Be interesting to see what the call is. I'm not sure that that first pass was backwards that Devin threw. So we could have an illegal forward pass. We could have grounding. We could have some sort of defensive penalty. And it will be an illegal forward pass. So that will be a penalty and loss of down for the Knights. So that's going to bring up 3rd down.
This puts the Knights in a very difficult situation, as they're very deep in their own territory.
That'll be 3rd and 21 for the Knights. And there is a give up the middle for a gain of about 4 yards. That's the freshman Crew Sage with the carry. And so now that will bring up 4th and long. And Scott DuPay on the field for the punt. And right here in this situation, Jackson, the Knights, they really need a good punt and some good coverage downfield. Rugby style kick, and that's a good kick, gets an SVU roll, and that is going to push Belhaven all the way back to their 42-yard line.
And that'll turn out to be almost about a 60-yard punt. Maybe a little more from 60 off that foot in the bounce. So good punt.
Yeah, about a 56-yarder there. But that's exactly what the Knights needed in that situation. After a rough offensive possession, Scott Dupay able to at least push Belhaven back into their own territory. Morris with the give, and the Knight defense right there to stack up Galashaw once again after a gain of about 1. Second and 9 for Belhaven. Another give to Galashaw, and he is caught immediately. It'll be another short gain. Looks like it was Britton Tidwell there covering a lot of ground to bring Galashaw down. Maybe it was Spike Adams. Third and 8 now for Belhaven. Morris back to pass. He'll roll to his right, throw downfield. And Lucas Martin there looking to make the play for an interception, and a flag goes down. And it looks like they're likely to get Martin there for a little bit of a shove.
And if that is the call, it just looks like it was a little bit too much. No, because there's always going to be contact typically between the defender and the offense, and there's just a little bit too much with those two hands. And it looks like I was wrong. I was not wrong.
No, it looked like for a minute that they were going to actually push Belhaven back. I wasn't quite sure, but the referee was just going back to make sure he counted correctly from the previous spot. A little interesting that both teams followed him back there to the previous line of scrimmage. So first and 10 Belhaven from the SVU 41. And there is a give to McMillian, it looks like. And he is going to bruise his way down to the 24-yard line of Southern Virginia for another first down. It was a strong run there. He was hit right about the line of scrimmage, but he was able to break free and carried 2 or 3 Knights down the field with him. Another give, and this time the Knights were able to stop the run. Once again, that was McMillian. Joseph Woods Jr. there on the stop. Second and 10. Looks like Morris will go under center for the snap. Play action down the field. He's got him in. And that is complete And a touchdown for Belhaven. And that goes to number 5, Joe Slaughter.
And that was a great pass once again by Morris. And Slaughter able to get under that and secure that himself. It was a good route.
Once again, good pass protection by the O-line. Give him plenty of time for that play to develop. Morris rolled to his right, threw back to the left side of the field. And now Boatman adds the extra point. And now that brings our score to 41 Belhaven, 19 Southern Virginia. So Belhaven now, they've got a 3-score lead here going in. Just over, it looks like 10 minutes remaining. 10-13 left here in Buena Vista.
Now being down 22 points for the Knights. I mean, the situation is already the same. They got to go, got to score, got to get some points, but it just increases and intensifies the moment as they just got to do so even more. You know, and I mean, there's been crazier things that have happened, but the Knights offense is really going to have to pick it up and really going to have to get going right now if they're going to want to see something.
Norris's kick taken at the goal line by Sage. And he's got a seam. And he is out to the 35-yard line before he is brought down by number 14, Terriot Snowden, on the tackle for Belhaven. Good return by Sage. And as we look, because the Knights, have the quarterback issues where Devin Watson has been hurt. Marcus Price went out. It looks like it's Quinn Massey that is out, taking the snaps. He gets away, looking downfield, and throws for a short completion to Jalen Lackey along the sideline.
And that play might give him a little bit of confidence. That's Quentin Massey. He's a freshman from Warrenton, Virginia, not too far from here. And so this will be what, to my understanding, is his first snaps of his college career. And with that little rollout and a little juke, and he's able to get a couple yards. And we'll see how he can control the rest of this Knights offense on this drive.
2nd and 7. Massey will step up and run. He's got the first down. When he is hit and goes down after picking up the first down.
You can see he's an agile guy. I mean, he was able to slip right out of that pocket as it collapsed so quickly. He was aware, saw that, notice, got out of there.
Trey Schaefer for Belhaven on the stop. Massey gives it to Roger Adam. And Roger pushes forward for a 3-yard gain. Massey. Short pass over the middle, looking for DJ Perry. A little low, and that will fall incomplete. And so the Knights now will face 3rd down and 7 yards. They're at the Belhaven 48-yard line.
This is a huge 3rd down right here for the Knights.
Massey steps up and throws just behind Jairique Washington. So that now will be 4th and 7. And out comes the Knights punting unit.
The Knights just kind of left with no really other option. They got to punt. but their turnover game has been pretty good today. If they can keep having those impactful plays, it could really quickly turn around this game.
DuPay's kick. Down, taken at the 8-yard line, but a flag comes in. That kick was taken there by number 2, D. Gray, and there was some contact, so likely to be a penalty on the Knights, which is unfortunate after that good kick. Would have put Belhaven inside their own 10-yard line. Referees are discussing the flag. And it sounds like the referees are going to pick up the flag, saying he was blocked into the kick returner, punt returner, Sage.
And that gives a little bit better of an explanation. It was very clear that there was a fair catch there. And he made some contact, but if he was going for a tackle, would have came in a little bit faster than that.
So a good break for the Knights, as now Belhaven has to start from their own 7-yard line, is what it looks like. Morris with the give. And there's some room to run there before it looks like that is McMillian once again on the carry. He's able to take that ball for a first down. A little interesting here, Jackson, the first half. McMillian was the running back that seemed to have difficulty finding some space to operate, and now these last 2 drives, he's been very effective for them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. McMillian has been just a little struggling almost, and you can see that he's got his potential and his skill, but it seems like the line has just never opened. He's never found his gap and really got his breakthrough, because the other running back, Galashaw, has been kind of finding those a little much better.
In that time, the ball carrier, Ryan Taylor, or Martavius Stevens. So Stevens with the carry. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Ball's on the 18-yard line. Again, handed off to Stevens. So a gain of 3 on the play puts Belhaven in a 3rd and 7 from their 20-yard line. And once again now, Jackson, we're under 7 minutes left to go here in this game. The Knights really need a stop here on this 3rd down.
Yeah, this is a huge time. This is almost game critical level.
Traden Henderson almost gets to Morris. The pass, and a great break up there by Ty Smith.
And you can see Ty Smith once again just playing some fantastic defense, especially today. I mean, and all season he's been playing great. There was another good defensive play by him, getting that hand in front of the ball and breaking up that pass.
Pass was intended for Macon Bentley. So out comes Norris once again to do his job, a job that he's been very proficient at today. Another good kick, and Lackey fields it and is immediately hit and brought down for no gain on the return. Matthew Kakamo. Kakamo getting downfield to make a great play. Special teams for Belhaven has been very good all day today. Massey, screen pass out to Sage. And that will go for a 3-yard gain. And Jackson with the Knights down by 22 right now. They don't just need completions, but they're going to need some yardage.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, completions are always great, right? But in this exact situation right now, they're going to have to really get up the field and start pushing it. They just don't have enough time to kind of wait around. They got to get going right now.
Incomplete pass thrown out, looking for Jyreek Washington. 3rd and 7 now is what faces the Knights. 6:02 left here in the game today. Massey with the throw. And that was intended for Sintez Gibson. D. Gray on the defense. And with 4th and 7, Coach Dupay is going to elect to go ahead and punt it away.
And with that decision, you can kind of just tell that coaching style that he has at this exact situation where he's just trying to play defensive. You know, he doesn't want to allow more points and going for it on 4th down. Well, obviously, would give him the Belhaven offense a much better opportunity.
And here's a fake. Scott Dupay going around the left edge. He's going to get the first down and take the ball all the way down to the Belhaven 35-yard line. So that's a play that I think we've kind of seen developing throughout the day. Every time Scott Dupay, he rolled out to his right to make that rugby-style punt, and this time he got it and ran immediately to his left.
Yeah, and it's funny that as I'm saying that, as he's saying that he's going to be a conservative play defensive, he goes for that fake and gets that first down and big yardage too. As now they're within that 40.
On the snap, you know, that defense is going to be rolling to their left, thinking he's going to his right. And, you know, so a great call there to go with that fake punt. And now flag on the play. Early movement by the Knights, so they're going to lose 5 yards. Massey in the shotgun. Rolls from the pocket. He's got a man downfield. Passes complete to Jalen Lackey. That'll be just shy of a Knight first down at the Belhaven 27-yard line. Knights need to get to the 26. The give to Roger Adam, and he is hit immediately in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of probably 3 yards. Trey Schaefer again being the first Blazer to the ball. Third and 4. And that pass almost picked off, but a flag goes down, and Massey was taken to the ground after the release. That's going to be roughing the passer on Belhaven. So that's going to give the Knights, that's going to go halfway to the goal line. They'll take them down to the 15-yard line, and they'll be 1st and 10.
Now it's a big play from the defense on the Belhaven side, but then it was very quickly switched to that offensive side for the Knights as they now have that first down, and there's 4 minutes left, but they're in really good territory to get some points on the board.
Massey steps up and he will go down. Schaefer once again, and he'll get a sack. Looks like a loss of 2 yards. Second and 12 from the 17-yard line of Belhaven. Pass across the middle, intended for Scott Dupay. Will fall incomplete. Third down for the Knights. Knights have 4 receivers. Massey's pass is tipped and falls incomplete. Reese Benoit on the rush, got his hand on that pass. So 4th down now. The Knights need 3 scores, so they'll be going for it. They need to get down to the Belhaven 5-yard line to keep possession. Massey's pass into the end zone, and that is broken up by Luke Handy. Pass intended for Scott Dupay, but a great defensive play by Handy, and the Knights will turn it over on downs to Belhaven with 3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here today. Belhaven holds a 22-point lead.
Yeah, and with that 22-point lead and just only 3 minutes left, the game is over. But Belhaven having the ball, you'd imagine they're just going to kind of run the clock out and kind of just end this one.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any more passes by Morris. Even in a 3rd and long, there's no need. The give to Stevens, and he will gain 3 yards on the play. So Jackson, as we look here, Belhaven 41-19 right now, just over 3 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Kind of a tough day for the Knights. They come out, Belhaven, first 2 possessions, they had great field possession. They cashed both of those in. And the Knight defense, or Knight offense, it took them a whole quarter before they got their first down. And then as we've seen, there's been, maybe not big injuries, but we're seeing players that aren't normally on the field right now for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, and it makes it hard. And as you're going on this, and I'm thinking that, they just need to be consistent with their offense. But as you talk about those injuries, and they just have key players who just were unable to keep playing for either a drive or the rest of the game or situations like that. And it just makes it hard to be consistent as an offense. As we saw the very first drive of this second half that the Knights were able to score, but they weren't able to keep that consistently. And a big part of that is from just the personnel.
Some of those, Marcus Solers, he's been the starter at running back all year long, unable to go today. Antoine Mills, I think we saw him with 1 carry. And now, the Knights have had to go a little bit deeper, into their, especially on offense. It's really taken its toll, and now, Quinn Massey, the freshman, coming in at quarterback, so, but all is not lost, dropping this game. Knights, 2, they'll end up with 2 losses in the conference, and in my conversation with Coach Dupay this week, he said he wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day the conference champion has 2 losses. So still something, nice can play for that. Of course, they got 2 tough games ahead where they still will go down to Huntington next week and play. And then they'll be back here to finish the season, Senior Day, on November 15th. And that'll be against LaGrange. LaGrange was the other team that was atop the USA South coming into the games today.
And with that being said, it just shows the opportunity not only for Belhaven, but also for the Knights, as there's still plenty of opportunity and plenty of time to kind of change things up, and like how this one game doesn't define your rest of your season. Like, this is a huge game for both teams, and it kind of like would determine the standings for these next couple of weeks, but it doesn't, finalize those standings.
Absolutely. So we're just coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Be 3rd and 2 for Belhaven. Another handoff goes up the middle, and that will be a first down for Belhaven. That's Julian Tabor. Picking up that first down. Now inside 2 minutes, Knights are going to go ahead and let the clock run, not use their timeouts. Another give. And that time, the Knight defense able to bring down the ball carrier for little or no gain. Tabor once again.
And Belhaven will probably kneel this one out and end that clock.
So this is likely to be the last snap of the game here. This play clock winds down, and the game clock is now under 40 seconds. Surprisingly, Belhaven throws a pass complete. That'll be a first down. Referees will come and spot the ball. And it looks like a timeout has been called. I'm not sure which side called the timeout.
And the clock is at 0. So it looks like refs will call that game. But the ball is still out.
So they will put 21 seconds back on the clock. Belhaven will have to snap the ball one more time. And Morris takes a knee, and that will do it. Now the clock will run out. And Belhaven, they make the trip up to Buena Vista from Jackson, Mississippi, and they'll be heading home with an important conference win for them. They'll improve to 5-0 in USA South competition. Southern Virginia will drop to 3-2. A game that was, Belhaven jumped out to a lead early, Jackson. Southern Virginia responded, stayed in the game, but at the end, in this fourth quarter, Belhaven just proved to be a little too much for the Knights, and Belhaven will take the victory 41-19.
Yeah, and it was a good game, and we saw a lot of great things. I mean, you can see the Knights were able to have some highlight plays, a little special time and stuff, and but Belhaven was able to kind of secure it, and while it was close throughout the whole time, they were able to kind of shut it down that second half and kind of put that win on lock. And you're able to see their offense specifically in that second half really get after it and have a couple big-time plays. They're able to just put them up.
So we want to thank everybody again for joining us here today for this broadcast on Knights Broadcasting. Appreciate all the support, all of the viewers that tune in for all of the broadcasts. We have another broadcast coming up tonight at 7 p.m. as the women's soccer team ended up seeded number 2 in the USA South. They'll begin the conference tournament tonight by hosting here at Knight Stadium the Meredith Avenging Angels, as the Knights, coached by Coach Robert Dahl, look to go into the semifinals on Wednesday and would love to make it to what would be the championship a week from today. So again, we want to ask everybody to tune in tonight at 7 p.m. as the Knights women's soccer team takes on Meredith. For Jackson McDonald, I'm Colby Kemp, and all of us here at Knight Broadcasting, thank you. And as always, go Knights.